On Wednesday, there was lots of fun and games at Fire Station 1 for the fire poster winners from 8 elementary schools in Coon Rapids.
Kaylin!
It's a good community event to get out and meet some kids, reach out to families, and a good opportunity for them to see what we do on a day-to-day basis and get to know us.
Check it out. It's a perfect fit. How did you do that?
They were treated to a magic show as they ate pizza with firefighters from C Shift.
2, 3, pull!
The overall poster contest winner was 4th grader Sophia Nar from Sand Creek Elementary. She captured the judges' hearts with this year's theme, Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape.
This is a house on fire, and if you're too high up, you have to wave like a cloth to help to get help to get down.
Now her poster is going to the State Fire Marshal Association's statewide poster contest, and we will find out probably in April if she has won the overall state.
The pizza party also provided a teaching moment for these lucky students.
And where did the fire start?
In our garage.
In the garage.
Sophia and her family survived a house fire a couple of years ago. Thankfully, everyone made it out safe, and she learned an important lesson.
That you always have to be ready in case there is a fire.
I think the other kids really listen then because it's their peer or someone that's their same age that dealt with this.
Here's a quick recap of the Tuesday, December 6th City Council meeting. The 2023 city budget and tax levy has been approved. On Tuesday night, the council set the levy for next year at $33.3 million, which is a 7.5% increase over this year's levy. In addition to inflation, part of the jump in the levy is due to a loss of more than $1.1 million in local government aid from the state. The budget includes 1 new full-time position, an embedded mental health professional in the police department. Previously, that position was split with the city of Blaine. The budget also includes funding to complete and equip new Fire Station 3 and money to start construction of a new water tower. You can find more on the next year's budget on the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov. A big rise in the number of catalytic converter thefts has many local communities taking action. This week, the City Council introduced a new ordinance related to possession of a detached catalytic converter. Anyone in possession of one must be able to provide proof that they received it lawfully from the vehicle's owner or have a receipt for the purchase. Violation is a misdemeanor. Currently, there's no state law regulating possession or resale of a detached catalytic converter. Plans for street reconstruction next year are well underway. In 2023, 4.5 miles of city streets will be reconstructed in the area south of 131st Avenue between Coon Creek Boulevard and Shenandoah Boulevard. Property owners impacted will be assessed a portion of the reconstruction cost. And that's a quick recap of the December 6th City Council meeting. As always, you can find the full meetings on cable or the CTN Coon Rapids YouTube channel. The Anoka School Board selected a new superintendent this week. On Wednesday night, the board voted 5-1 to hire Corey McIntyre for the role, pending successful contract negotiations. McIntyre, who currently serves as superintendent of Osseo area schools, is no stranger to the Anoka School District. He served as assistant superintendent and executive director of student services between 2016 and 2019. Prior to that, he worked in several other school districts in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Washington. In a statement, McIntyre said, quote, Anoka Schools has demonstrated a commitment to excellence and a belief that all students can learn at high levels. I believe the mission and vision of the district is a match with my philosophy of education and my skills and abilities as a leader, unquote. Contract negotiations are currently underway. McIntyre is expected to start as superintendent on July 1st.
Tis the season for holiday lights, and there's no shortage of beautiful displays around Coon Rapids. More than 20 homeowners have entered this year's holiday lighting contest, and judging takes place this weekend. You can find a map of all the entries on the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov. The winners will be announced later this month. The contest is sponsored by the Coon Rapids Arts Commission.
We have a lot of people who come from outside our borders and they target our stores to commit thefts on a regular basis.
Coon Rapids is home to one of the biggest retail areas in Anoka County. And while Riverdale Village is rolling out the welcome mat to shoppers this holiday season, mall management is teaming up with police to crack down on thieves.
So far they've been very, very effective, and our team is really happy with them.
Just before Black Friday, Riverdale Village installed automatic license plate reader cameras at all 6 of its entrances.
When a vehicle travels past one of those cameras and that vehicle is wanted by law enforcement, for instance, it's a stolen vehicle or there's a wanted person in the vehicle, then our retail team gets notified of that.
Considering 70% of thefts happen with a stolen vehicle, it's one of the great ways to stop these before it even happens.
Ryan Burke, senior property manager at Riverdale Village, says the cameras have already helped track down thieves and prevented thefts.
If the customers are safe, the store employees are safe, more people are going to come to shop, profits are better, less things are getting stolen. It's a benefit for everybody.
Officers Steve Minion and Daniel Forsman, who work out of the police substation at Riverdale, walk the retail beat 7 days a week, working closely with store managers and employees. Through the end of the year, additional police patrols will be deployed on weekends.
We're just trying to do what we can to crack down here in our community and send a message that we won't tolerate this behavior.
Back in 2017, the Minnesota State Legislature updated rules related to development in the Mississippi River Corridor critical area, which runs through the Twin Cities. Recently, local cities, including Coon Rapids, were required to adopt new standards.
Minnesota is the headwaters of the Mississippi. They feel it's very important for us to preserve the quality of this water, and they do that through controlling the construction that goes along and any work that goes along the shorelines, the bluff lines along the Mississippi River.
The Mississippi River Corridor critical area, which was designated as such back in 1976, stretches for 72 miles from the cities of Ramsey and Dayton down to Hastings and Ravenna Township. It includes 54,000 acres of land along both sides of the river.
Most of these rules relate to those property owners that live along the river or own property along the river. Most of it is private residential homes. There are some public institutions, for example, Anoka Ramsey Community College is along the river. They're also subject to these rules.
The 3 big changes include new design standards for acceptable river access, including paths, stairways, water-oriented structures, patios, and decks. Specific definitions have been developed for things like bluff line and bluff impact zone. And finally, permits are now required for certain land alterations and vegetation removal.
Previously, we didn't really have a permitting requirement if someone was going to do some fairly significant work along the river, whether that's vegetation removal, putting in riprap, a retaining wall. We didn't really have a process for doing that. So this will now require a permit if you're going to be doing any of that kind of work.
The DNR created a model ordinance to help cities update their own ordinances to align with the new regulations.
Anything that was legally established prior to the updated ordinance will be considered a legal nonconformity if it doesn't meet the new standards. And so there are protections under state law for legal nonconformities.
To comply with DNR requirements, the Coon Rapids City Council adopted an updated zoning ordinance for the critical area in the fall of 2022.
So the City Council, we need to adopt them and make them part of the city ordinances because we'll be responsible for the permitting and for the enforcement.
A lot of the changes, I think, are really related to permitting, clarification about rules. Things like structure setbacks are not changing. So I think it's important for people to understand that this is really updating and modernizing our ordinance
but I don't know that there's drastic changes that we're making to it.
In the end, everyone along the 72-mile corridor hopes the changes will help protect a gem so it's around for generations to come. If you'd like to learn more about the changes or find information on development standards and permitting requirements, just log on to the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov/MRCCA. The Public Works building is getting some improvements. This week, the City Council awarded contracts for the remodeling project. Plans include upgrades to the front office area, lunchroom, computer area, restrooms, and locker rooms. Changes are being proposed to the city's animal control ordinances. Currently, you need a multiple pet permit if you have 3 or more pets. However, under a new ordinance being considered, a multiple pet permit would only be required with 4 or more pets. Also, new ordinances would eliminate the need for owners to license dogs and register cats. The holiday shopping season will soon be kicking into high gear. The City Council has proclaimed November 26th as Small Business Saturday. They are encouraging residents to support local businesses this holiday season and throughout the year.
It's just really helped me find that passion in creating stuff and designing.
Senior Aaron Casey spoke before a group of local industry leaders about his experience in the engineering program at Coon Rapids High School. It's one of 3 programs which uses curriculum written by Project Lead the Way.
For this class, you're doing a lot of the research on your own.
The nonprofit organization develops STEM curriculum in science, technology, engineering, and math for schools across the nation.
Is there an activity or a specific project you worked on that really stands out?
Project Lead the Way President and CEO David Demet was joined by others to see the curriculum in action.
The adrenaline wouldn't be as high, but the blood cortisol would still have a significant enough difference.
In the Biomedical Innovations class, students use what they've learned about design and statistics.
So they're applying that knowledge to designing their own research question and designing a study to test something about human physiology or human psychology.
In the Computer Integrated Manufacturing classroom, students design their projects in 3D modeling and use a flowchart.
What you're looking at here is an AGV, or an automated guided vehicle. Our whole purpose is to be able to follow a line on the ground.
It's possible to live with it, but it's really rare.
In the Medical Interventions class, students work as genetic counselors while they research a genetic disorder.
We really do try to have all the careers, because kids are like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse. And so we're trying to show them, this is an example of a job where you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse.
Project Lead the Way, showcasing student learning today as they prepare for the STEM careers of the future.
It's such a great opportunity for us to share what we're doing and kind of show off our students that we're so proud of.
If you'd like to learn more, the Coon Rapids High School Center for Biomedical Sciences and Engineering program will host an information night on Tuesday, December 6th at 6:30 p.m. in the school auditorium.